Hello, friends. Hope you're all staying safe and doing good. Today, let us dwell on another important topic, that is presentation skills, right? Now, we learned about communication skills in our previous session. This is another important branch. It's an actually, it's another branch which comes out of communication skills, and it is presentation skills. Now, let me ask you something before jumping into the topic. Have you ever given any presentation in your life? Now, think about it. Presentation need not be a formal presentation where you stand on a stage and address the audience. It can also be, addressing a group of people, your friends, your family, your relatives, or unknown audience, strangers as well. And you need not be standing on a stage. You're just standing on the same ground, yeah, a little farther away from them, and you are trying to give a presentation. You are trying to convince them about a particular idea. That is presentation. When you pick a particular topic, when you're specifically talking about an exact idea, that is what is called presentation in general. But today, let's try to be a little more professional about it. Let's have a professional approach towards learning presentation skills. So, are you all ready? Come on, let's learn it in a very meaningful, sequential, systematic way. All right. Now, let me ask you something. If you have given presentations before, have you ever felt those butterflies in your stomach? Have you felt nervous before, going on that stage and giving that presentation? Have you felt dizzy that, oh my God, why me? Why is it my turn now? Or have you had a nervous breakdown just before the day you want to give the presentation? I'm sure you would have experienced all of this or some of this. And don't worry, my friends, it is but natural to feel like this. And you're not alone. Many people, 70% of them, before giving presentation, 70%, according to research and studies, they have this nervous breakdown. They feel dizzy, their hands start sweating. They feel like vomiting. There are several cases like this where they feel very anxious and nervous before giving a presentation. So that's completely all right. We will also learn tips on how to overcome that nervousness. Okay. But when we prepare in a very systematic way, when we have a careful and well planned approach towards our presentation, then I'm sure we can eliminate all these fears. Do you agree with me? I'm sure you will. Okay. Now, before jumping into the tips and techniques of giving presentation, I want you to make notes of what you learn. It is very essential because you might forget what you hear. When you make notes, you can always go back to it and refer to it whenever it is required. So let's start with our slideshow. I'm sure you're all making notes and you're all super enthusiastic to learn the tips and techniques of presentation skills. Well, shall we move ahead? Come on. Let me share the screen with you. All right. Hope you can all see the screen. Well, just give me a moment. Okay. Now, my main approach about presentation skills is for you to help out to make those influential presentations, those compelling presentations where people get influenced, they get inspired by looking at your presentations and they feel that this is the best. If I want to do something, I want to do it exactly this way. Okay, so that is the whole motto behind teaching you the tips of presentation skills. And let me tell you a secret. Every successful presentation is built on 4 pillars. Any guesses? Any guesses what are those 4 pillars? I'm sure you can. Think about it. That is the bottom line for building any presentation. Well, let me help you out with it. It's very simple. You can remember it as PIP, P-I-P-P. Yeah. P-I-P-P stands for people, idea, passion, and very, very important, preparation. how many ever presentations you might have given, but you need to prepare for it. Or it might be altogether your first presentation. You need to do a lot of preparation. So the fourth P is extremely important. The first thing is people. You need to understand your audience. You need to know what set of audience, what kind of people are you addressing. Okay, so people, the idea. What is the idea of your presentation? What is the title of your presentation? What is the idea behind presenting? Is it giving knowledge? Is it sharing information? Is it teaching them? Or is it just motivating them? Or is it about answering their questions? Is it about clarifying their doubts? So there are various ideas behind giving your presentation. You need to have clarity on the idea behind your presentation. Okay. And for that, you need to thorough research. You need to talk to the people, understand what kind of audience, what are their intentions behind, to attend your presentations. That is when you have a clear idea. Then it's about your passion. Whatever you do, whatever you want to present, you need to add a lot of passion to it. You need to really love doing it. That comes across your presentation. That is when audience will get attracted towards your talk. Okay, so let it be filled with passion. In whatever you do, I would suggest, my friends, like be passionate about it. Put your heart and soul into it, and people will come to know if you really love it. Otherwise, if you're just doing it for the sake of doing it, neither will you enjoy it nor the audience will enjoy. Okay, so be passionate about your work. Be passionate about each and everything you do. Love it when you do it, especially when it comes to presentation. You're influencing a set of people. You have to be passionate. That's a must and should rule. And finally, as I told, preparation. Very, very important. Underline that word preparation. If you go and give a presentation without preparation, then definitely you're bound to feel nervous. Okay, if you haven't done your research thoroughly, if you haven't got a fair idea about the content you're presenting, if you haven't prepared well for the presentation, as in, maybe you have a fair idea and you want to try it out directly on the stage while you're presenting. Oh my God, that's a strict no-no. That's a strict no-no. Okay, you are ought to feel nervous. Let me give you few tips on these preparation techniques. Okay, I'll just stop sharing for a while and let me tell you. See, people think preparation is writing on a piece of paper and by hearting it. Okay, and people also tend to think that if you have a fair idea in your head, what's going to come, next. What is going to come after this? Oh, don't worry, I have a fair idea. I can start linking about it. That doesn't work always. Only if you are a pro, if you're a professional in giving presentations, you have thorough knowledge about it, you have enough practice, you have given hundreds of presentations, yes, then you're well prepared, well equipped. Yes, things come in handy even if you're mentally prepared. Otherwise, if you're a beginner and if you do not have much practice in giving presentations, then let me tell you some important tips. Practice in front of the mirror. Okay, practice in the exact way as you're giving the presentation to the audience, each and every minute step, one after the other, and not just once or twice. Practice it for a minimum of 3 times, my friends. Okay, the entire presentation, whatever you're going to do. When you do it in front of the mirror, you will get a fair idea about your body language, how well you are coming across, how well you're able to portray a positive body language. Okay, that is when you'll be confident about yourself. And in between, if you feel that you're getting stuck at this particular point, then maybe you need to have a cue card. Cue cards are those small cards where you can write the keywords on it and keep it with you. It's absolutely fine. Okay, you can carry a cue card with you if you want to give a presentation. Okay, so carry those keywords on the cue cards if you think at that particular place I'm getting stuck. Okay, so make sure you do all this preparation before starting with the presentation. It's very important. So and also do not think like if you have planned everything in your head, it's fine. I know in my mind I am prepared mentally. It doesn't work, my friends. Physical practice is very much essential. Okay, keep it in mind. So practice physically, stand in front of the mirror, carry cue cards with you, and have a thorough knowledge like why am I telling about this point? Is it the right point to use at this point in time. So have a thorough knowledge about your content. Well, we'll get into the deeper aspects of it later on. Now, for the moment, let's go back to our slides. Well, so these are the 4 pillars we need to be building the presentation on, and we need to have a thorough knowledge about it, okay, about our audience, about our topic of presentation, and we need to be very passionate about what we speak about, and thorough preparation about how we are going to put it across. What type of presentation are we going to do? Then, finally, how are we going to conclude it? How are we going to answer the questions? And lot many things. You need to prepare well for that. Well, just to give you a brief idea about presentation skill, it is nothing but you are putting across a set of ideas and you're convincing the people, and that is all is required in presentation. Okay, as I told you, presentation is a part of communication. You're actually communicating with a set of audience, but here you're doing about a particular topic or around a set of ideas. So you're trying to be more particular in communication. And of course, you will have to be very good in verbal and non-verbal communication. I think we dealt about it in our previous session. So if you have any doubts about it, go back to that session of communication skills and go through the session, so you will have a thorough knowledge about it, and then you can come back to presentation skills. So presentation skills, these are the essential techniques you use when presenting an idea or a set of ideas to others, okay, to a group of audience. Now, it's a key skill which you require if you want to get your message across, especially to convince others, or to convince them of your idea, or to pass a message, or to give an opinion. You need to have this key skill. We need to have it. If you have this question like, why at all do I need to give a presentation? That is not a valid question at all. It's a key skill you need to possess. Now, what are the key components? You can make notes of this. Okay, the first component, as I told you, is preparation and planning. Okay, you need to prepare the points. You need to plan well. When I talk about planning, it's about the time. Okay, how should the opening be, and how should I allot time to each segment? Then how long can I continue in this particular segment? How should I conclude? Okay, how should I summarize? You need to plan very well, and for that you need to prepare very well. And language of presentation, if you are presenting in your regional language, or if you're presenting in English, you need to practice that. You need to have a fair idea in which language you're presenting. Most of the times it will be in English. So that is where I nudge you to join my English fluency classes. We run an academy called Self Academy, and we run courses on English fluency. And many people have benefited. They have come out of our academy being very successful, fluent speakers. So if you want to really be fluent in English, then please join our academy. You can look into the details, which is given in the description below this video, and you can always contact us. Okay, and you can also use these visual aids, okay, to make your presentation very effective. It can be a PowerPoint presentation, or you can use infographics in PPTs, or you can use some visual aids where your presentation is much more beautified. Okay, it's not monotonous. You're just talking and talking all the time. You're adding some beauty to it. Just as I'm using these PPTs in my presentation, you can also do the same. And of course, the presentation itself, it's again not about just the PPTs. Okay, many people tend to go on and on the readout from the PPTs. It's very simple and it's very easy to do that. है ना? सारा टाइम लोग देखते रहेंगे PPTs को, उधर से पढ़ते रहेंगे. तो आप क्या बोलेंगे? You have to speak something else which is not there in the slide as well. Yes, they are there to give you the keywords, to give you the hint that this is what you need to talk about, but you should not just read out from the PPTs. Okay, that again seems very boring and monotonous. You should use it to beautify your presentation, but of course you have to add a lot of points to it. You have to elaborate on the points apart from what is there on the slide. So that is what is the presentation, because people are here, or people have come to your presentation not to look at the PPTs. right? They have come to look at you, to look at your presentation, to look at how you talk, about what you talk. So you are the presentation, not the slides, not your PowerPoints. Please remember that always. Okay, when it comes to preparation and planning, that is one of the key points to remember, right? During presentation skills. So, what is the first point? During preparation planning, what do you need to do? You need to research about your audience. Who is your audience? Okay. Are they a set of managers you're talking to? So they already have sufficient knowledge about the topic. All you need to do is to give them extra information. Or are they a set of freshers where they do not have any idea? So you also have to give them information apart from motivating them. Or are they a bunch of strangers and they have absolutely no clue about this, so you have to start from the scratch, you have to teach them bit by bit. So you need to have a thorough knowledge about your audience. So make sure you research about your audience. Okay, what is their expectation from your presentation? That is the question. What do you want to present? That's again your content. Okay, you need to plan your content in a very logical way. How can it be structured in a logical way, one after the other? Once when you write it and practice it, you will get an idea. Am I making sense? Is my content properly structured? Am I actually, talking sense? Am I able to understand what I'm speaking? If you are able to understand, then definitely audience will be able to understand. Okay, so while you practice, make sure that you're listening to what you're talking, and then you will have a better idea about structuring of your content. So what do you want to present is all about structuring your content. And why do you want to present? This again comes to the very purpose of your presentation. As I told you, while you research about your audience, again, purpose is linked to it. What is it that you want? What is it that the audience wants from you? And what is it that you want to give the audience? They both are interlinked. What they expect and what you have to give. So these both are interlinked. Why do you want to present? Because they want some information from you, or because they would love to get motivated from you, or because they want some additional information, or because they want everything from the scratch, whatever it is. So it is like fulfilling the requirements. And where will you be presenting? For example, it's like elevated stage, so you are far away from the audience, so you need to have a mic. You need to be aware of the equipments you need to have while you're presenting. If you think you can use the laptop while presenting, and there you go to your surprise, absolutely you do not have any facilities to use your laptop. Okay, maybe you would have carried your pen drive and they have facilities for that, so that will come as a total shocker to you. Be prepared. Where is that place? Where will you be presenting? Okay, or do you have big screens where you can operate it, and or somebody else will be operating your PPTs and you can show it to them? Be well aware of it. Okay, where will you be presenting? That is again very, very important. See, all this preparation will bring down your fear, will bring down your nervousness. है ना? Then how long should my presentation be? This is again very, very important. Some people, they have got so much of information, abundant information, that they go on and on and on and on. Okay, whether it's making sense or not, or has it gone boring, they're not worried about it because they have prepared so well, they just want to complete all the points. It doesn't work like that. Just be aware of how long can you present. Is it for half an hour? Is it for 45 minutes? Is it for 1 hour? Okay. So when you prepare and plan, it's very important for you to keep a check on your timings. If I'm talking about 10 points for 1 hour, then how can I plan my each point for how much time? Okay. So how long should my presentation be? You will get a fair idea when you prepare. And what visual support can I use? See, this is actually not compulsory. You need not use a PowerPoint every time. You can use some visual aids, you can use some graphs, you can use some charts, whatever you want to. Okay, you can put in some activities to make your presentation very attractive. But if at all you want to use, of course, PowerPoints are, can be readily used. It will come in handy. But again, limit the number of slides to not more than 25, 30 if it is like 1 hour of presentation. If you're having too many slides, it is just like, again, reading out of the PPTs. Okay. It will be very boring to the audience, because at a time the audience cannot listen to you and look at the PPT and read at it at the same time. All this cannot happen simultaneously. Okay, they're just either looking at the PPT and reading, or they are listening to you. Okay, all this cannot happen at the same time. It will get boring for the audience. So do not use too many slides and do not use too many points inside the slides. There are techniques of how to make your PPT as well. Okay, that's an altogether different class, because there are very intricate details which you have to follow. It should not be very jazzy, not too many points in a single slide, and not too many transitions. All these things will not beautify, but it will distract the audience. Okay, so we will deal about all this in an altogether different class. For the time being, let's keep visual support minimal. Okay, not too many, just to yeah, just to give you a cue about it, about what the next point is. You can use PPTs. All right. Now, when it comes to second key point, the first one was preparation and planning, right? Second one is language. Of course, while you're using language, people tend to believe that once they use very complex language, complicated words, then their presentation, it's standard and it is very good. That's not true. Be very simple, okay? Easy to understand words. And do not use technical jargons. Many people might not understand. Okay, go for simple words, easy to understand words. Keep it very simple, keep it very straightforward. Okay, and one more thing, people tend to use these filler words too many times. So I remember in one of my presentations, we used to sit and count the number of so's the presenter was using. It went up to 40 in half an hour. Okay, so people tend to get distracted if you're using too many filler words and repeated filler words. Many people have this habit. Okay, even if you want to use filler words, you can change them. Once you're using like, next time you use and then you use okay, and then you use so keep changing these filler words, because you need that gap to think or remember what the next point is. Okay, if you're not sufficiently prepared. Otherwise, try avoiding filler words, especially repetitive filler words. The same word, you understand filler words, right? Those are words which you use in between when you want to think, what next. So avoid repetitive filler words and use simple language, simple vocabulary, what is relevant. Okay, do not use heavy jargons. It might make you feel that it's the more complicated the words are, the better the presentation is. That's not true, my friends. Let it be simple and straightforward, easy to understand. Okay, that's all about language, I have to say. When it comes to visual aids, as I told you, it should not replace your presentation. You should not read out from the PPTs. Yes, I have witnessed many, many presentations where people just read out from the PPTs. They go on, and for half an hour, they would have prepared some 30 slides. Imagine, like, every minute, tuck, 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 they'll be changing all the PPTs, they'll be reading out, and everything is there on the PPT. So, what are you doing there? If the PPT is there, and it's covering all the points you want to tell, you have just written it down, then what are you doing? Absolutely useless. है ना? तो ऐसा मत करो. Your presentation, your PPTs should aid you, should help you in presentation, and it should not be the presentation. People haven't come to see the slides, but they have come to see you and listen to you. Okay, remember that. As a rule of thumb, use a maximum of 1 slide per 3 minutes. ठीक है? इतना ज्यादा मत यूज करो, एक मिनट के लिए एक slide. Okay, so maximum of 3 minutes. Try to arrange accordingly. As I told you previously, they can't read and listen at the same time. So while they are reading the slide content, then be silent or looking at the visual. Okay, visuals should be simple. Yeah, then don't make it very jazzy. If you can look at my PPTs, they have a plain background. That is the best thing to go for. Okay, light backgrounds and soft colors. You can use the color wheels to design colors for your PPTs. Okay, they should be in contrast. And do not use too many points on your PPTs, like 9, 10 points. It looks very clumsy. It looks too much of traffic on the slide. It should not be so. So keep it simple, soft colors, so that it's not very strenuous for the eyes when they look at your presentations. Again, if you're using PPTs, you also have to keep in mind the distance of the audience. If it is like live presentations, offline presentations, here though I'm doing online, so it's okay for you. But if you're doing live presentations, you also need to keep in mind the distance of the audience, because if they're sitting very far away from you, then you need to use different colors. Okay, and if they're sitting very close to you, not more than 5 or 6 feet, then the colors of the PPTs must be altogether different. Okay, all this has to be considered before you design the PPTs. Keep in mind, let it be simple. Okay. Well, we have covered the key points for an effective presentation. Now we will come to the main part of the presentation, which is the content. How should your content be designed? There has to be an introduction, there has to be a conclusion, compulsory. In between comes the body of the content. Okay. The introduction and the conclusion should always be on a high energy. You can't start, okay, today we are going to talk about presentation skills, looking elsewhere. Not at all. Look into the eyes of the audience and bring on that energy. Make it look interesting. Maybe you can start off with a quotation. You can start with a story. You can start with a question. Okay, just as I asked you, have you felt nervous before giving a presentation? Have you felt dizzy? Have you felt, your palms are sweating? So let it be curious for those 2 to 5 minutes. Because if you do not make it interesting in the first segment of between 2 to 5 minutes, audience will lose interest. That is when they'll make the decision whether I should listen to this person or not. And once when they know that your presentation is captivating, he or she is interesting, they will move on. They will continue to concentrate. Okay, make sure your introduction is fully energetic, it's inquisitive, it arouses the curiosity of the audience, and it makes them stick to your presentation. Okay, they'll hold on to it. And even your conclusion, when you come towards the end of the presentation again, you have to summarize. You have to summarize whatever you have said till then, and you have to do it again on a high energy note. You can't bring down your energy. Oh my god, अभी तो मेरा काम हो गया, सब कुछ मैंने बोल दिया, जो भी मेरा PPTs था सब कुछ दिखा दिया, अभी मेरा काम हो गया. You should not run away after doing it. Okay, you have to summarize everything in a very meaningful way. Slow down, wait for questions, and again do it with a smiling face and on a high energy. And in between, the body of the content that has to be very logically structured, one after the other. Okay. Now, as I told you, yes, introduction, you greet them, you tell them about the purpose and objective. Okay. And it's very essential for you to introduce yourself if it is like unknown audience. You need to tell them about yourself. And body is, again, give audience for them to absorb the information you have given them. And it's very, very important. Please open up the session for questions. Q&A session is compulsory in any presentation, especially when you're having live audience, and be prepared for those questions. That's again one segment where people get very nervous. You don't know what type of questions they're going to pose you. And if you're not prepared, well, you're bound to get nervous. So it's always easy if you can anticipate those questions. Okay, what kind of questions they can ask you? You can kind of think about it and be prepared, anticipate those questions and prepare the answers and be ready. So once you're thoroughly ready to face the questions as well, automatically you'll not feel very nervous. कोई भी ऐसा question पूछेगा तो immediately you'll remember, अरे यार, I was prepared for this, now I can answer well. Okay, so that you will not feel nervous. Conclusions, I told you, be patient, don't hurry up, summarize everything, and then don't run away. Just wait for everything to happen, and you can bring it to a meaningful ending. All right. As I told you, it's perfectly normal to feel nervous, and I have taught you tips how to overcome it. Preparation will help you to overcome your fear. Preparation right from the beginning, like about knowing your audience, about preparing how to speak, what to speak, and your timing, your planning, okay, and about the logical structuring, and then about talking in front of the mirror, because there you will get a fair idea about your body language, right? And then about questions. So when you're prepared for all of this, automatically your fear will come down by 70%. Okay, you need not be scared. And then this is a beautiful tip which I'm going to give you. Once you stand there, you will find your own voice. The first 2 minutes you will feel nervous because the spotlight is on you. Everybody is looking at you. You're bound to feel nervous, but just take those 2 minutes, overcome that. Once you find your own voice, which means that taking those 2 minutes and continuing to talk, you would have overcome that fear. Okay, so find your own voice, take those 2 minutes, just hold on to it. Okay, don't run away from the stage. Don't feel, oh my God, it's not possible. My knees are trembling. I'm sweating. I can't do it. And my mouth is going dry. Okay, take a deep breath. Before you go on that stage, take a deep breath and keep sipping some water in between. It will definitely help you. It will help your throat not going dry. Okay, keep sipping some water, and even before you go on the stage, take small sips of water, then take a deep breath, have a smile on your face, and go and stand on that stage like a winner, like a lion. Okay, have that feeling when you go there on a stage. And you just look at everybody, have a sweeping eye contact from left to right and right to left, and give a smile. The minute you smile at them, you get connected to them very easily. Okay, so wear that smile on your face always. That will help others to get connected to you easily, and it will help you to bring down your fears. Okay, so don't forget to wear that smile. And all this is believing in yourself. You should trust yourself first. Yes, I can do it. It's not something out of the world. It's not rocket science. Come on, it's after all a presentation. I'm so well prepared. Why can't I do it? Come on, test your potential. You can do it. So believe in yourself. Keep telling yourself, believe in yourself. I believe in myself. I believe in myself. I believe in myself. Okay. These positive affirmations will they actually have phenomenal results. If you do it every day in the morning and night, as soon as you get up and before you go to bed, you can see the results for yourself. Okay, keep telling that to yourself. Believe in yourself, or I believe in myself. Okay, so do that, and I'm sure you will give a cracking performance. Yeah. Okay, once again, let me just summarize. Always prepare well and channelize your fear. Understand, what are you scared about? Is it because you're not prepared? Or is it because you're scared of the audience? They're all coming from senior backgrounds and you don't know how to face them. They might be having knowledge about various other things, but the presentation you are giving about, they might not be well aware as much as you are. So you don't have to be scared about. Try to channelize your fear. Try to understand, what are you really scared about? Okay, interact with your audience. Don't make it boring. I know ऑनलाइन में इतना मतलब चांस नहीं मिल रहा है मुझे इंटरेक्ट करने के लिए, but given a chance, it's always good to interact with audience. Wear that smile, do some activities, interact with them, ask them questions, ask them for feedback. Is it okay to go ahead with it? Can I just have your permission? So keep asking them questions. Do not get confused. Okay, confused में अगर confusion नहीं होना चाहिए तो preparation अच्छे से होना चाहिए. And it is also important to understand that you are not like the master. You need not know everything. For example, somebody asks you a question, it's not that you have to answer every question. It's okay to say, I'm sorry, at this moment I do not have an answer to this question. Give me some time, I will get back to you. But make sure you get back to that person. Honesty is the best policy. Do not make up answers. ऐसा नहीं है कि कुछ भी मतलब बोल दो उधर. So don't do that. Don't make up your answers. Don't give false answers. That will again have a question on your credibility. ठीक है? ऐसा मत करो. If you do not know the answer, it's perfectly okay. You can take that question and tell them, give me some time, I'll get back to you, and get back to them within that stipulated time. That is very important. Okay, you can find the answer and get back to them. As I told you, anticipate the questions, and sometimes the questions give you a lead to highlight your point of view. Yes, that happens to me most of the time. They ask me one question which I would have missed out during my presentation. So when they ask me the question, it gives me a chance, an opportunity to elaborate on that and give them a better idea. and how I can link it to my presentation. And even remember, while they're asking the questions, they might digress you. There will be certain digressors in the audience. They will distract you asking some irrelevant questions. So you should keep a check on such people. You should bring them back to the content, and you should bring them back to the present situation, whatever is happening. Otherwise, they're time wasters. They are wasting your time. They're distracting you, and they're posing you some irrelevant questions. So keep a check on them and bring them back to the present presentation. Okay. So that's how I've summarized, and all the very best to each one of you. I'm sure after making notes, after following all the points, you will be able to make the best of best presentations. I am assured of that. Thank you so much for watching this and for making notes. So once again, all the very best. Well, just to conclude, let me once again tell you, presentation is not something which you need to be scared about. It's another form of communication. Okay, if you're a good communicator, then there is no reason that you have to be scared about. You will be a powerful presenter. Okay, and now if you follow the tips of knowing your audience, preparing well in advance, and talking in front of the mirror, and making having an exact idea about what the questions might be from the audience, and preparing for these questions, and having a lot of energy. Okay, starting on a high energy note, concluding on a high energy note, and structuring everything in a logical way. Yes, bas itna sab ho gaya, to your presentation is perfect. Let me also throw some points on body language. Okay, do not be fidgety. Okay, many times when people present, they keep counting the coins in their pocket. Yeah, they keep making that noise of all the coins in the pocket. So that's being very fidgety, or just pulling your ears, or just like making your fingers in this way. Don't do anything in a way where audience can make out you're nervous. Stop being fidgety. That's one of the negative body language. And always have a sweeping eye contact, as I told you earlier. Eye contact is very, very important. You cannot look somewhere else while you're talking to the audience. It totally feels disconnected. ठीक है? तो सभी को देखना है. Just have a sweeping eye contact. Or sometimes you can make eye contact in a W shape. Okay? This shape, you can just look at everybody. But eye contact is very much necessary. Have a smile. Yeah, that is the best body language, most positive body language you can have. And that's different from laughing. Okay, you're not laughing at them. You're just having a genuine smile on your face. Well, these are some of the main tips which you have to follow. And your voice, you need to have that voice modulation, the intonation. Okay, the rise and fall in your voice. It cannot be monotonous. Okay, friends, today we're going to talk about presentation skills, and you know what, presentation skills are very, very important. If you're a good communicator, you can be a good presenter. So it sounds so boring. There is absolutely no rhythm in your voice, no change in the mood, and the rise and fall of the voice is not there. So let it be like a narration, and wherever it's important, stress upon that point. Take a break, give a pause, underline those words even in your PPTs. Okay, give them some time so that it seeps in, it gets absorbed in their brain. And it's very essential to have that intonation. Okay, and let it not be too high or too low. Sometimes if you're speaking over the mic, it's obvious that you have to maintain a moderate tone. ठीक है, जोर से मत चिल्लाओ. You already have a mic, so always maintain a moderate tone. And if you do not have a mic, of course, you need to raise your voice a little bit, but it should not sound like shouting. Okay, it should not be like shouting. Again, our ears are designed to receive a particular decibel of sound. So if it's above that or if it's below that, we can't do that. And audience, obviously, they'll get bored. So maintain that moderate tone and the speed of talk. It should not be so slow that they doze off to sleep. It should not be very fast that they cannot understand. So wherever it is important, go slow. Otherwise, you can maintain a moderate speed. So the rhythm of the voice, the speed of the talk, your intonation, and how you present with your body language. You should not be very rigid. Just stand in a place and have a very stiff body language where you do not do any movements. It should not be so. So have a fairly Positive body language. That doesn't mean that you have to keep moving a lot from here to there. People get distracted very easily. They'll keep looking at you as if they're watching a tennis match. ऐसा भी नहीं होना चाहिए. Okay, थोड़ा सा इधर से उधर, keep moving, and keep moving your hands, and have a smile, and have a fairly have a good positive body language. Okay, and eye contact is again very, very important. So eye contact, your gestures, and your postures, and your intonation. These four things, if you touch upon, then you will give a cracking performance in whatever presentation you're giving. Okay. Once again, all the best, my friends. And let me just tell you once again, I am present on social media, on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Instagram. If you just type Shilpa Srinivas, you can get into my YouTube channel, and you can also see my Facebook page, and I'm there on Insta as well. Well, we will keep giving latest updates, and you can make use of it, especially on YouTube. We have released a lot many videos where we really want to reach out to those people who want to be fluent in English, and you can watch my videos and subscribe to my channel. And let me also tell you, people who are interested to join my course, we run an academy called Self Academy. Self stands for Speak English Language Fluently. So we've been training people who understand English but are not very good at speaking fluently. They get stuck while speaking. They're not sure if they're using the right word or not, and they're so scared to speak in front of people. So we are trying to address all these problems, and we also have a psychological approach towards it. So we teach them to overcome their fears, and also in a very simple way, how to become fluent. Well, there is an USP to our academy. We actually teach them English without teaching them grammar. Can you believe it? So, without learning in the schoolish methodology, we're going to practically teach you how to listen, how to speak English fluently. We have a very holistic approach towards it. And that's a secret. I'll not reveal it to you here. You have to get into my academy, you have to get into my course to understand the core concepts. But trust me, you'll be successful at the end. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this video, and continue your learning process, because a day without learning is a day wasted. Thank you. Have a nice day. All the best. Bye bye. Hi, friends. This is Shilpa Srinivas, a corporate trainer and a motivational speaker, and also your personal coach and guide. Well, talking a bit about myself, I have done my master's in science, and I emerged as the college topper, and have worked as a research assistant in one of the top institutes of. Hi, this is Shilpa Srinivas, a corporate trainer, motivational speaker, and a personal coach and guide. Well, to tell a bit about myself, I have done my master's in science, and I emerged as the college topper. And I have worked as a research assistant in one of the top institutes of Asia, which is Indian Institute of Science. I have worked in the supercomputer department. And after that, I have worked in various multinational companies like Infosys, ITLS, and PSIPL. And then I moved on to London, where I worked for 6+ years in both private sector and the government sector of UK. After I moved back to India, I have been working in this training industry from past 10 years, and have trained various spectrums in the society, including corporate sector, banking sector, and teachers and students from top universities who belong to various streams like engineering and MBA and degree and many more. I have trained more than 10,000 students, and I have traveled pan India for training purpose. And I also believe in giving back to the society, where I'm associated with many NGOs, and I train them for self sufficiency and employment purposes. And I have started my own academy from past 1 year, which is an online academy named Self, where we have been training people on English fluency and mindset coaching. And we have trained more than 450 plus students who have emerged out successfully till now. I have also been a mentor for inSAKE Academy from past 6 months. And for this particular course, I will be your mentor and guide. And I would love to extend my services in future, and I want the well-being of our society. Um, Sorry, Banu, I'll just repeat the. It's my passion to train people and make them self reliant. So I would love to continue doing this. And it is my mission to help millions of people to become self reliant, confident, self sufficient, and to bring out the best in them. So that is my real success. Thank you so much.